Hi everybody, welcome back to Marlow Briggs in the sometimes late at night. I just hold the scythe under my sheets, and I know that I shouldn't sleep with it. I know that I'm not going to need it ever again, but goddamn, it just feels so right. It just feels so good.
I hope you guys aren't tired of this shit yet.
That would take up the entire front of the box. There would be no room for art on the box.
There wouldn't be art, there'd just be like a big old, like, there'd just be Marlow Briggs' neutral mask eliminated by moonlight through blinds, taking up the entire cover of the game.
It is a pretty game. I mean,
so that was me overshooting.
It's a pretty
This is a
game.
pretty scene, though.
We're getting close.
It's a little bit HDR bloomy Vaseline for my tastes, but it's pretty good.
I like the overset. Like after a decade of grim, dark, brown, gray gooiness.
Okay,
I like an
no.
oversaturated game.
I like the oversaturation. I don't like the kind of blurry HDR fuzzy effect.
Oh, I see the bloom, the glow around, the hazy halo around everything.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, no. Something feels wrong about it.
Something feels wrong. Why am I jumping like a Trump all of a sudden?
Marlow Briggs in the oh no, I fell some small distance into water. This has historically proven to be inconvenient for me.
Something feels wrong about this.
Super drowning skill.
Honestly, really, what could have elevated this game, and I'm hesitant to say it, but a bigger emphasis on story, like a bigger emphasis on how dumb the story is. Like, I'm not saying make a good story. I'm saying like bring these ridiculous characters and situations to the fore and let them talk and like interact, so we have like an emotional investment. Because it so minimizes that aspect of it, and I know that's part of the joke, but as a result, it's sort of this later half of the game starts Alan waking a little bit and kind of becoming a chore.
Yeah. It feels like
very
they've set up.
So what do you suppose Hurricanes... Oh, that's still the air thing. We still haven't gotten that.
It feels like the game has set up a bunch of jokes and not made them pay off. Like it's like Borderlands 2 without the punchlines. You know, Borderlands 2 is always messing around with.
It's like Borderlands 1.
Goofy. Yeah. Silly and over the top, but not really commenting on it. Although there was the one moment where the evil bad guy...
I didn't...
The big evil bad guy had a comment once, oh, if it, you know, whoever kills Marlow Briggs gets 50% off on their weapon purchases. Meaning he sells weapons to his own mooks. Which is a funny idea. Like, more like that. More stuff like that would have really helped.
I don't know, I think this game is more clever than Borderlands 2 was. And again, I didn't think Borderlands 2 was terribly clever either.
Marlow Briggs in the it is becoming increasingly difficult for me to tolerate the rule of law in this country, knowing that I am immune to bullets.
I actually don't mind these bosses all that much. They remind me of Dark Souls bosses, and that it really sucks to get hit by them.
Please tell me that when you beat him, you can take his
like
feather hat.
That would complete this if Marlow Briggs had a feather hat.
We need to culturally appropriate that hat. In a culturally imperialistic way.
I mean, I know he does.
I don't know. You're saying we're fighting the heavy?
No.
Chieftain Hammerhead?
Guy's name
a very
is
Mayan name.
Mayan. Yeah. Or maybe those are directions.
Seriously, how fucking
maybe
long did they spend on that one?
That's actually a gameplay tip. Chieftain, Hammerhead. That's what you're supposed to do to him.
Who's he the chieftain of?
All these mooks.
What kind of government do they have?
I know. Well, they've got a chieftain, evidently.
They had a government based on hammers.
and feather headdresses.
From what source does he derive his authority?
The hat! Will you look at the hat, Rudscorn? Are you telling me you wouldn't immediately bow
Oh
to
God,
somebody
he
wearing
was in
that
the
hat?
scenery.
Look, in 1,000 years, people are going to be doing things like having characters named Sheriff Bullet Shoots, and you're going to have to deal with that if you live that long. So,
Yeah, that
like
is
how
on
you
my
can't-
top list of concerns.
I really like how they give you the ability to take over these bosses and use them against the mooks that inevitably spawn, but they have so little health by the time you do that they die in like 2 hits from the mooks. So that's swell.
my favorite games are the ones where Josh can do nothing but scream in contempt.
Really, following up a boss fight with a mook fight does just seem like game design faux pas. Like, it just feels like you shouldn't do that. The other way around I can accept, but just fighting mooks after you've beaten a boss,
We're gonna
especially
lose.
if you're gonna be like, especially if you fail to achieve victory the way Josh has.
Or is about to. This is going to be fun.
Ah, fuck.
I predicted the future.
More mooks to fight. Does that mean that we should amuse ourselves by coming with more Marlow Briggs titles?
The fact that the camera is so fucking pulled out makes it difficult to judge distance. Fuck you guys, I am so done fighting you. Of all the mooks in this game,
At least
shut
it
the hell up,
checkpointed.
Mask.
At least it checkpointed after the boss was dead.
Yeah, that would have really sucked if it hadn't. Oh, come on. No, God damn it.
Marlow Briggs and our relationship has been very strained, awkward, and full of obligation ever since I murdered thousands of people to save my girlfriend.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. I would love that. A game or a book or a movie, it would have to be a comedy, that explores that idea. What happens after you slay a nation to rescue your woman? In a Conan the Barbarian type of way. Like, what? How does that play out later when the two of you talk
Fuck.
about it?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, there's gonna be so much that she doesn't want to know, but that she needs to know, like, so she can sleep at night. And you're gonna tell her, and, you know, a few years later, the relationship's gonna be kind of, because, you know, it's most relationships don't really work out, but she's gonna be like, can I break up with him? He murdered thousands of people and saved my life, but I never asked to get kidnapped. I mean, it's not like this is
Good, I hear
particularly
guns.
my fault, but it maybe was my fault that he was in South America hanging out with criminals, but should this matter? Should it be about obligation? Of course it shouldn't. Oh my god. And also, I'm terrified because he's a monster. He's a terrifying monster man.
But before that, I mean, that's the ultimate terminus of their relationship. But before that, you get things where, like, she invites him over to her boss's company dinner or some sort of scholastic thing, and one of the professors or whatever is hitting on his girlfriend a little too much, and he starts glaring at her, and he starts glaring at the other guy, and it becomes very tense, and she gets worried that he's literally going to grow wings in a giant scythe and cut the guy in half, and...
But instead,
It just-
Marlow just gets drunk,
Kim's
and then the
about to
guy
get
starts
murdered.
talking, and he starts explaining something about Mayan history, and Marlow loudly, brashly interjects with his own interpretation based on murdering things from Mayan history, and the professor guy is baffled and angry, but he just acts belligerent and snide because he has the upper ground, all the academics are laughing, and Marlow gets dragged off by his girlfriend, they have a shouting match, and his girlfriend reveals that he was going to break things off, like, the day after the day she got kidnapped. But after she got kidnapped, her plans changed and she felt like she couldn't bring it up.
You know,
So
I know that
have to
Seamus...
take the health.
I know that Seamus said this had to be a comedy, but I'm getting the sense that me and Rudscorn could write a really great, like, serious drama about this.
This is dark,
This game is just a
man.
prequel! That's why this game is so sketchy. It's just a prequel
This
to
is like
Marlow
some...
Briggs, and my relationship is a fucking shitstorm.
It's this bleak, like
Crazy motherfucker!
David Lynch kind of movie.
We must apprehend the sorcerer before he ascends the mountain.
Marlow Briggs and how could I possibly be a father to a mere mortal? He's just like questioning everything he
We
does.
back on the Defenestrator again?
No, now we're in Industry Town. Where there's industry. Look at all that industry that's going on.
And we're playing Frogger again. This
Yeah,
is the
Marlow
other half
Briggs.
of Frogger.
Oh,
Marlow
that
Briggs
was a
and the
bad
letters
one.
from
No!
various 5-star generals are getting increasingly difficult to ignore. I don't care how far away they send me. I don't care how little they pay.
Oh, this
Marlow
game
Briggs
is
and the
silly.
divorce letter from home.
I want to know what's in these cargo containers. What could
Cargo.
possibly need?
It says
Yeah,
so.
what could possibly need to
damn
be
it!
moved around so much?
Basically, part
Maybe
of their plan
moops.
is they're starting a bunch of South American cargo cults. So they're dropping crates of cargo.
Oh,
And they're like, figure it out from here, guys.
You know, I hope Marlow Briggs doesn't win, because as soon as he does, all of these people are going to be out of work. Like, we're going to put an entire Central American country out of work, because that's how many people this guy's got to employ.
So I haven't mentioned yet, but the controls for the glider are a little janky.
you don't say. Wait, are you suggesting that some of the gameplay in this game might not be completely polished?
No, 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 no! I like how I'm able to fight off all the bosses and mooks and barely die. These fucking cargo containers are kicking my ass. You just made the whole area this, and I never would have gotten there.
Marlow Briggs and the I miss the jungle. God help me, I miss it. I miss the simplicity of it.
Helicopter.
Possessed professional.
That also sounds like a really good band. I'm going to start calling out any good band names. Possessed Professional sounds like a good band. You know, these look like Sonic levels, kind of, don't they? Like, all the super industrial crap
I
right
did not
next to
play
Jungle.
Sonic.
I think you're finding yourself alone in this. I cannot go. Where you go, I cannot follow.
All this
The
Sonic
only
fans will back
this
you
is
up.
real talk here, Chris. Everything I know about Sonic, I learned from watching your episode of it. I had no knowledge of Sonic before that. So anything
Yeah,
that
same.
is not anything that is not mentioned in your video, I am ignorant of. I know that it had one good game, and that it's trying to recapture that glory and not succeeding. And that's what I know about Sonic.
Oh, I knocked that guy off the edge! Holy shit,
Chris,
I finally did it!
You are the only guy in this Venturillo channel who has played a Sonic game.
See, I feel weird because I'm not one of the hardcore Sonic guys that is like, Sonic is awesome. I'm just like, Sonic is a thing.
I'm not gonna go out there and find Chris Franklin the Hedgehog.
I mean, you might, but I probably didn't draw it, most of them.
I'm gonna Google Capture the Hedgehog and see what we
The moment
Oh.
I finished, shot two of the workers and one of the
Hey,
bodyguards.
audio log,
He smiled and said
yay.
he could feel the temple blessing him, and then he started to cut up the bodies.
It's a Sonic the Hedgehog video. Congratulations.
Any rescuing? You need to
Hooray!
get away from here before it's too late. for
I
both
think
of
it's a
us.
little late for me to get away from here, thanks. Besides, the only way out of here is by helicopter, and those things always
Ooh,
blow
Seamus the Hedgehog on the other hand. That has some goods.
up. Oh god.
Awkward.
The rest of the season's just going to be Rescarn reading Dolphin Lover voice versions of Sonic porn.
I want to read the pornographic Sonic the Hedgehog Marlow Briggs crossover / fiction.
She won't have to.
I could have lived my whole life without imagining that and been a lot happier.
You ever feel the need to go fast? Asked Sonic. Marlow looked into the distance and said softly, "Well, there was this time where I was on a slope and I was sliding down really fast downhill and collecting objects. Uh-huh, said Sonic. And how did it make you feel?
This whole time.
Marlow nodded slowly. Goddamn good, he said.
It explodes! Of course it explodes! Why would it not explode?
Wait,
It is a
we were
metal
in the
object
Mayan
made of-
underworld already. Why aren't we going back there? We did this. It was great. We killed Shock. We died sometimes. Everything was happy. Oh no! What? What am I supposed to? What am I? I don't even. What am I supposed to do here?
Duh.
Marlow Briggs and me, can I even trust my own memory of events?
Okay.
Balls covered in spikes sliding downhill? Seriously, what are the odds of that?
No.
Marlow
made it.
Briggs and the I can't even. What is? Can't be serious.
Marlow Briggs
doesn't
and
even
me,
look like the
even if
underworld.
most of it really did happen, how could I have remained sane after seeing all of that? Surely there must be some delusions, mixed amidst the real-life madness.
Oh. Marlow Briggs and the totally puking because of the camera.
Why is
Oh.
this the way that you do this?
Marlow Briggs and the bugs go squish.
Oh, Marlow Briggs and the Scorpion with 10 million hit points.
Just like in the 20th game in my series is Marlow Briggs and a really mean robot Scorpion. If it's like a robot, because actually, I mean, I really genuinely think it would be great is if there was this game, and then there was like 10 art games along the lines of what I was discussing, and then you just randomly fight another giant robot in the next game,
There we go. Thank you.
Man, I've never
and then you spend another 10 games dealing with that.
Closer to finishing the ritual, more and more demons are able to cross over into this world.
Wait, so these things are demons? No, don't summon
Sure.
more of those fuckers! Alright, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lure all these guys over here. What? You missed!
I kind of wish it wasn't, instead of Marlow Briggs and
Oh,
the
crap.
something,
I
I
don't
wish
have
it was
enough
more like
mana.
Charlie Brown. Like something Charlie Brown. I wish it was like, you know, it's a Mayan ruin Mayan ruin Marlow Briggs.
I like this.
You don't
have
qualify
health?
for any health care because your insurers can't identify your condition, Marlow Briggs.
Exactly like that. So, are they like? Is the cargo stuff they're exporting out of the underworld? Is that what's happening?
What are they
cargo
exporting,
drugs.
mooks?
They found a mook mine. That's what this mining equipment is doing. It's mining mooks. They found this rich vein of mookium, and they've been just processing it into armies and armies of mooks.
Hi, I'm Big Jackass, the leader. I have been leading my organization for some time, and I know we've had some PR issues in the past, and we have always tried to make it up to you, which is why I am proud to announce that our flagship, the Defenestrator, has discovered a source of sustainable mook in our time.
And someone busts in, going, "Indefenestrable to his people! Indefenestrable to his people!"
Well, at least the
Why
necromancers
won't
are
the
getting
press
their
cover
asses kicked
Marlow
by their own
Briggs' account?
stuff.
You know, after
That
watching
was
this, I'm not sure I believe
what
his
I had
account.
intended to do, but
Yes.
okay.
I'm not sure I believe the grand jury ruling on Marlow Briggs is going to be very favorable.
I refuse to believe anything I've seen in the last 20 minutes. Especially what I'm seeing right now. Because what I'm seeing now makes no sense.
You know, I was joking earlier about, like, a bleak end to Marlow Briggs' relationship, but let's be honest, even if they loved each other very much, to some degree, a relationship is built on mutual, like, it is built sort of on equality. It's built on the feeling like you need her and she needs you, and, or, you know, insert whatever pronouns are applicable, obviously. And ultimately, it's about the two of you giving and taking and trying to make things work. There can't be a feeling of, like, there can't be a power imbalance for it to feel right. I'm just worried that, like, he's gonna get to the end of this and they're gonna have troubles. Because it's not gonna feel right for them. It's gonna feel like, weird, like they have this hanging over their heads for the rest of their lives.
I'm gonna assume
And
that
just-
Go ahead, Seamus.
Well, just he'll be wandering around the house, struggling with the relationship and wondering what he should do differently, and she'll have left all these passive-aggressive audio logs everywhere for him.
And you know, Marlow Briggs, you know, he'll be mature about this. He'll realize, okay, you know, just because I saved her life doesn't mean that, you know, I'm entitled to anything from her. I still need to give just as much as I take in this relationship. And then sometimes, like, after just days and days of arguing and, like, you know, not seeing eye to eye, he just catches himself thinking, but I did save her life, so I had to kill like 6 helicopters. That shit was
6.
That is a massive understatement.
I know,
we're literally
but, like,
probably
The world of pain.
we're like 50 helicopters deep at this point.
easily.
I think it's kind of like the point of sleep, because Marlow hasn't really had any sleep. I think it's, except, you know, brief comatose incidents. I think it's kind of like Marlow doesn't even see the obstacles anymore. Like, he doesn't even see a big flaming wall. He just sees something swinging. He's just kind of tiredly jumping past.
Another Zipacna? We just killed this guy before, like an episode ago.
He's now hallucinating flaming yo-yos and monsters he's already defeated.
Well, no, he's just like, this is all happening, but he's so punchy at this point. The actualities of what he's fighting and what he's jumping past, like, he doesn't even care anymore. It's like he's been in the job 7.5 hours. It's almost quitting time. A form comes on his desk. He looks over without even really reading it and signs it and hands it away, realizing he doesn't actually know what it is. He just passed back. It turns out that you can burn out on murdering guys, and Marlow Briggs is so far past that point. Like, if you stopped Marlow Briggs and asked him, what was the last thing you killed, he'd, like, kind of look at you and blink. Like he's coming awake, and he'd be like,
Like he's still got its blood on him, and he's wiping it off, and he doesn't remember what it was.
He's, like, dazedly wiping blood off his shoulder, and he's like, did I just kill someone? I mean, I believe you. I mean, I've killed a lot of things today, so I probably did.
And while he's talking, he's currently impaling a dude on his side, and he doesn't even notice.
You're like, who is he? And he's like, who's what? Marlow Briggs in the I wonder if I could find all of the widows and meet them. It's a bad idea, but I just wonder. Marlow Briggs and the I darkly wonder, could I even find a convention hall that could fit all of them? Do I even want to know how many? Marlow Briggs and the I'm standing on this guy's shoulders. Oh my god, I didn't even notice I was standing on these guy's shoulders. I only realized it because he kind of buckled and I almost fell off just there.
Jesus! Oh no! Hang on, Spikes. We need to smash these guys.
You could use a spell like Matrix. I'd recommend a Matrix.
Flames. Feet is
Matrix
better.
is for live people.
No, this is not the time for weirdness with the damn controls.
This is tense. Go!
I made it!
Yay!
Seriously? What is it with you and fire?
Hardly. I was never so inelegant.
Let's go through these great balls of fire.
Yay!
Oh man.
Flaming yo-yos. Like, what could
Another
this
good-
possibly
another good
have
band
been
name.
for?
Flaming yo-yos.
That sounds like a 90s group. The Flaming Yo-Yos. It reminds me of the
Ken
Flaming
confirms.
Lips.
Can confirm in the late 90s,
Ah!
I started a fake band with my friend called the Flaming Warlocks.
It's a bit
Well, there was-
different from flaming yo-yos.
And the Flaming Lips,
Same
that was a real group.
Marlow Briggs and the oh my god. After several years, the voice in my head came back. But is it real? Am I really hearing the mask? Or is it just my hallucinations?
This is not
Oh, wow.